My name is Don Miller. I was the athletic director at Hastings High School from 1986 to 2000, and I'm receiving the Hall of Fame award.
In 1942, Wes and Alice Miller welcomed their second child and only son. Don Miller was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and grew up with an older and a younger sister. The Millers lived in South Minneapolis, and Don attended Miles Standish Elementary and Falwell Junior High.
I was involved in athletics all my life. I lived about a block and a half from Sibley Park. So I played baseball down there and on a very good organized team one year. And in ninth grade, we ended up second in the city championship. I played hockey at that park up through 8th grade.
But baseball and hockey were not enough.
And then I took boxing lessons at the Pillsbury House in 9th grade. And I had a box off with a kid at 93 pounds in 9th grade. And I won the box off. And then I worked out with a 12-pounder all the time. And the kid that I beat in the box off quit. So the coach put me in with a 20-pounder one day who just pummeled me. And when I came back the next time, he said, "Look, Don returned. Why'd that other guy quit?" He made a point of that. Well, I won the City Minneapolis Junior Golden Glove Championship. And I thought, this is kind of fun. I'm going to try some more pugilistic sport. And that's why I went out for wrestling. I liked it.
Don's wrestling career had a rather inauspicious start. The team ran out of tights, so he had to wrestle in sweats. During the match, the drawstring came undone. Don proceeded to win the match, and while the referee raised his hand in victory, his sweats fell down. Don wanted to quit everything right there on the spot. But Don graduated from Minneapolis Roosevelt in 1960. After a successful high school wrestling career, he decided to continue his pugilistic career in college.
I went to Augsburg College, and I made that choice because I had a cousin that was attending Augsburg College, and he suggested I go there. And one of my high school teammates at Roosevelt went with me to try out for their wrestling team. I wasn't too concerned about what I majored in at the time, but I did go there to wrestle.
And wrestle he did. Don's amateur career at Augsburg proved to be very successful. After his junior year of wrestling in 1963, Don was set up on a blind date with a girl named Barbara Zekis. It proved to be a winning pin for Don, and they were married in 1964. With a degree in physical education and speech, Don was offered a job, and the newlyweds began their new life together.
I started my teaching career in Monroe, Wisconsin, way down on the southern border of Wisconsin, and I helped coach 9th grade football there and was the head wrestling coach and assistant track coach, and I was there for 4 years.
The time in Monroe was a great learning experience, but the call to be closer to home in Minnesota was too great to pass up.
I moved to Hastings in 1968. A friend of mine from college was the coach at St. Paul Park High School. He called me and told me there was an opening in Hastings and encouraged me to apply for it. So I did, and I went back to Minnesota.
Don started his career at Hastings as a physical education and driver's education teacher, as well as the head wrestling coach. In 1972, Don obtained a master's degree in physical education from Mankato State University. From the start of his career at Hastings, then AD Gay Johnson knew what he had in his new coach.
I had a tremendous athletic director at Hastings, Gay Johnson, and I replaced him when he retired, and he encouraged me to apply for that job and do that. And I thought, well, maybe I can help.
In 1986, Don became the athletic director at Hastings. While wrestling was his passion, one of his more memorable moments as AD came from the basketball court in 1996.
Probably when our girls basketball team won the state title. We won a few state titles when I was there, and that one stands out because the parents wouldn't let the coach go home until she watched the movie or the film of the game, and I was there. We played that pretty late at night, and she was still critiquing the girls' play, even though we won the state title.
Don always believed in athletics and how much being a part of a team contributed to a child's success. His hard work and dedication was recognized in 1998 when he was named the MnIAAA AD of the Year. In 2000, after 32 years at Hastings, Don decided it was time to retire. With athletics behind him, Don finally had more time for his family and, of course, his passion, the great outdoors.
First of all, I'd like to thank Jim Baker for nominating me for this award, and then, of course, the selection committee for placing me into the Hall of Fame. I have to thank my previous athletic director, Gay Johnson, for encouraging me to become the athletic director, and he was very beneficial in my life as a former athletic director of mine, and then my wrestling coach at Augsburg College. His name was Edor Nelson. Bobby put up with me all those years I coached and was an athletic director, and as you probably know, athletic directors aren't home very much. And so she ran the family household when I was out and about, and did a wonderful job raising our children, almost absentee from my presence in the house. But yeah, I'd like to thank my wife. I need to thank my superintendent of schools and my principal also. My principal was Rich Clymer, and he had been a teacher and a coach before he became a principal. Ken LaCroix was a teacher and coach before he became our superintendent of schools. Because they had taught and coached, they knew and understood the value of athletics for kids. And because I was fortunate to work for them, that made my job easy in Hastings. And then I need to thank this committee again. I never expected this award, and I feel extremely honored. Thank you.
Today, the MnIAAA inducts Don Miller into its Hall of Fame.